Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusha here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku. Deku and his team were trying to build more and more trust with one another. Deku and Bakugo, they also had a sparring match to see where each other stood with one another. Now, the team, they're definitely starting to shape up a bit more. And Deku, he's quite happy by that. They spent some more time on Amazon Lily, and after a few days, they plan to head out. Now, Deku's also been spending time with Boa Hancock, and Boa finally handed over the information about Mary Joisa, a place where she was enslaved along with her sisters. And they were able to be released, thanks to somebody breaking into the place and getting them free. Now, that does say quite a lot. Deku, after he does try to do a bit more research to marry Joisa, Boa told him quite simply, the place is heavily fortified, and it's practically another Marineford stronghold. The fact that it was broken into once does say quite a bit. The world nobles poured possibly a lot of money into making that place impenetrable, and that does say quite a lot. Even if Deku does find a way inside, it doesn't mean he'll get what he wants. That doesn't mean he'll be able to just go in, slaughter the nobles, and go out. There will be problems, there will be trials, there will be people in his way, and there will be blood on all sides. Now, Deku, he does currently have a plan to head towards Jaya, a pirate island, and currently, let's pick up with Deku boarding onto the ship Boa has given him access to. As Asui, she clearly does just don't stand there. Her, looking at the crew, walk aboard with some supplies. And Asui just tried to express to them. She's already done quite a few things to prepare the ship, and she actually needs to talk with their captain. And Deku does something to stare at Asui a little confused. Her and are going to walk forwards and tell Deku to follow her. One of the two are going to actually walk up to the helm. And currently Deku's at watch and turn, telling everybody just to get their things below deck. And everyone they do is start to follow Deku's direction. Now, Deku, he does turn to Asui. So what's up? Miss Hancock has informed me of a few things. You're the captain, I'm the helmsman. Uh, I thought you were the captain. No. She said that you are the captain. I listen to your directions, and I steer the ship. I make sure things are okay. Along with that, I'm also the navigator, which does also mean that I know our course. You wished for us to go to Jaya, correct? Yeah, I'm a little confused. I didn't know there was a difference. There is. Now, the helmsman pilots the vessel. The captain gives orders and follows whatever we follow whatever the captain does say. You just set the rules and we follow them. Although I do have a few things that you might want to go over with your crew. They can't do rigorous training here because it might break the ship. They can't use hockey unless we're under attack. And hopefully they understand that whenever we do need to all rest, we drop anchor. Okay. Anything else? Hopefully no abilities can be used here. Is that fair? Mostly. Though, what about Devil Fruit user abilities? Those are included. Unless we're under attack, I don't want them to be showcased or used. Alright? That's fine. I do understand. The vessel's a little... well, it's not the standard size of the other ships I've seen. That's correct. This one's smaller, and it's actually that way for a purpose. The sails have been changed and dyed differently. It's not going to be seen as a Kuja warrior ship, though it will look a bit odd. We also don't have the serpents. I noticed that. So we're sailing the old-fashioned way. A little bit. We do have a motor, but it's mainly, you know, what? It's a little strange to explain. Okay, but there's a way we can go faster, right? There is. Though driving the ship like that is gonna cost a lot on gas, and we don't have a lot. We can use it sparingly, or in case of emergencies. If we do go into the calm belt. Yeah, okay, that does make more sense. Yes, if we drift there, we'll be in danger. A lot. We don't want to encounter Sea Kings. You do understand, Captain, correct? I do. Thanks. Though, if we get sent in the calm belts, we'd already be dead, wouldn't we? Not necessarily. But we'll provide the boat with some sea stone lining the outer layer. We should be safe. Though, it will be a problem if we have it destroyed. What do you mean? The boat has a coating of it. The coating won't last forever. Okay, that makes more sense. You don't know a lot about sailing, do you? Not really, no. Grew up in Japan. Makes sense. But you're different, aren't you? What do you mean? While I was in Impel Down, I saw a few prisoners that were different. Some weren't exactly human. And I don't mean to sound rude when I say this, but you're not entirely human, are you? I'm not. I'm half fishman, merfolk. Huh. Correct. It's a private matter I do not wish to discuss. And how are you and Amazon Lily? I don't want to discuss it. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll drop it, but if the rest of the crew know, they'll ask questions. So, tell them at your own risk. Alright. Understood. Her and I are going to at least pilot the vessel out of port. And everyone, they do make their way to Jaya. Now, it does take some time. And Deku, he does at least try to do a few things here. He does try to keep up with some standard training. And he even has to tell his crew about a few more things they all need to be made aware of. And that certainly does say quite a bit of things. Deku tells them all about Whitebeard. And Bakko, he was at first not too sure why they're looking for some old bastard pirate. However, after Bakko hears about the man's bounty, he's a little bit more shocked. I mean, 5 billion, 46 million. That's insane. That's fucking insane. That's what, 30 times Deku's bounty? If not more. It's crazy. Now, Deku, currently the ship is at a pull into port. Him, Todoroki, Toru, and Bakko all gonna walk off onto Jaya. And everyone, they do to turn their heads a bit more annoyed. They all thought they were the big shots, the hot shots, the guys who were hot shit. And right now, some real fucking pirates, they just landed on Jaya. And people do currently gotta turn their heads and look directly at Deku, who does gotta walk off of a boat and currently look around. Now, someone's currently staring at Deku, and their face turns pale white as Deku's look in their direction. I'm gonna turn and yell out for Todoroki, Toru, and Bakko to follow, and for everyone else to stay here and guard the ship. Now, right now Toru and Todoroki do to walk off the vessel. And this is even a lot more alarming, since those are 3 escaped convicts from Impel Down, who are believed to be the people who killed Magellan, the warden of Impel Down. I mean, a literal hell on earth. That's insane. Now, there actually is Mina, who currently to walk over and bend over the railing as she does so. I'm going to lean over, expressing to Deku that he really should bring back more alcohol. And currently someone's a turn to see Mina. Them a lot more alarmed by the cute girl in the boat. And currently Mina's going to turn and stare at the person. Her is going to bring up her hand and aim it at them. And the person's a bit more confused, as she doesn't go to imagine she's pulling a trigger. Now, the person's going to look down, as currently Deku's going to walk past and down the dock. Now, currently Deku is walking down the dock, and people, they do continue to stare, until eventually Deku does finally get to a bar. I'm going to walk in as everyone, they do turn their heads to stare at Deku, and they do look away, trying to mind their own business. And currently Deku's going to walk over to the bar and bring his hand out. Him tapping on it as the bartender does a turn. Then I'm going to look up and stare at the man. We'd like something to drink. What would you like, sir? How about... I would not recommend the tequila. They're going to turn. I'm going to stare at a man. What? Tequila here's shit. They don't got nothing good. The only real thing that's worthwhile to drink is the rum. Alright. Thanks for the advice. We'll have some rum then. Glass for each of us. Iced. Now, the bartender is going to get to work. Going to quickly pour the glasses and set them down in front of Deku. As Deku does turn and go to grab the glasses with his friends. I'm expressing to them. Alright, so now they've got to do a few things. Now they need to search for some information and someone who might know something. Though, it's going to be quite annoying. And currently Deku's going to turn to the man, asking if he'd like another drink, because he does want to at least ask him a question, since he was so, well, polite in giving them an offer. Or at least telling them something about the island already. The man gonna turn, bring up his glass. And what would you like to know, kid? Do you happen to know where Whitebeard is? Everyone gonna turn hearing Deku say that name. And Deku, he's gonna stand there, as the man is so bring up his glass, sipping from it. Him gonna drink the whole thing down and turn, putting it back onto the bar and telling the kid. He's heard rumors that Whitebeard, he's heading towards Longring Island. Huh? What do you mean he's heading there? He's searching for something, kid. Don't really know too much, but he's searching for, I think a devil fruit. Government heard rumors and they're after him too. Though, they do want to talk to him. Possibly make an exchange. I heard they had something he wanted. Huh. Right. Sure they do. Boy, I'm not lying to you. I'm making a turn, expressing. Izuku should know. Whitebeard's a pretty powerful pirate. Why is he after him? Just want to talk to him is all. Is that so bad? No, it isn't, kid. Though, word of advice. I'm going to turn, telling Deku the words he might be biting off more than he can chew, dealing with a Yonko. Now, the man goes to turn and walk away, him waving his hand to Deku, expressing he wouldn't mind covering that drink for him, would he? Since he was so polite to give him that information. And Deku's a turn, him going to bring his hand down and grabbing out a few bills, putting them down for the bartender. The man so going to nod at Deku as he decides to bring his hand up. I'm going to turn, pull a bottle off the top shelf, and sit down drinking in front of Deku. Him going to turn and walk away. And Deku, he actually is like that the man just did that. He was real polite. He doesn't want Deku to cause problems. And he's trying to offer him an olive branch. Isn't that nice? Now, currently Deku's to sit down. Him admiring the atmosphere of the bar. He does have a few questions though. He heard some rumors about this place, but how true are they? I mean, he heard that this place is a story about a city of gold. If Ochako heard about that, she'd be a fucking scuba diver here. Would not see her again. Though how true is that rumor? A city full of gold. What other treasures could lie at the bottom of the ocean? If there really is a city down there, then could a devil fruit survive under the ocean pressure? given the right circumstances and condition, maybe. But, hmm, a devil fruit lost to time. It could be under the ocean. Hmm. Scuba diving equipment. Yeah, no. They don't have time for that. Long Ring Island. Yeah, they should go there. Currently the door being busted open, and I was to turn back, somewhat sweating, because Bellamy just walked into the place. And Deku, he does a turn. One of them gonna walk over and start shout at the bartender about what he wants. And currently Deku just sit there. Him going to turn as the man does just don't try and reach out and grab the bottle that Deku just have. Him running gonna reach out for the bottle as he's gonna reach past Deku's left arm. Deku gonna actually bring his hand up, turning it and grabbing onto the man's forearm. Ham's gonna turn to Deku. Huh, you really want to do that? You must be Bellamy. Deku turning his head. I saw your face on a wanted poster. You don't want to do that, man. You don't want to fuck with me. Funny. Now, the guy's gonna see Deku's reaction. He's not phased. Oh, come on, shit. Okay, listen, man. I work for Doflamingo. Do you really think messing with me is a good idea? You work for Doflamingo? Interesting. I do have a question. I heard from a warlord that he makes the smile fruits, right? From a... What? Who did you hear that from? Don't worry about it. Now, if you can answer my questions, we can make this all polite. I can pour you a drink, and we can talk. How about that? Things don't have to get violent. Because I'm going to put more pressure down on the man's forearm. And the guy actually is a lot more alarmed. Deku's strong, and he's kind of intimidated by this. This is the guy that's crazy powerful, right? I mean, there's two other people with him right here, and you know what? Maybe, yeah. Currently, he was still gonna nod, and Deku's gonna let go of the man's arm. Deku's gonna bring up the glass and grab onto the container, pulling off the top, and gonna actually turn and pour the man's glass. Now, the man is gonna turn. Deku putting back down the container and turning to him, expressing about how he does want some answers and information. They've already got what they came for, but he is curious. How exactly do they make those things? Huh? I don't really know, man. I'm just a foot soldier. Sure. You said you worked for him, right? You must do some pretty important work to work for a warlord. Though I've already done some work for one myself. Huh? What? You have? Yeah, I have. And the government took notice of it. Though, burn the world. Pretty annoying guy, you know? Now, Renault Bellamy doesn't have his face drop. Burn the world? He's the one who killed that guy? Oh shit. You know what? Maybe today was a good day not to come down to the bar. Now, the guy should answer a few Deku's questions. Deku annoyed since he doesn't get much. Though he does ask about one thing he did see on the way in. He saw a massive geyser of water. Does Bellamy know anything about that? No, man. That type of stuff just happens here. Shame. Alrighty then, Deku in turn. Bring up his hand and grabbing his glass. Him going to knock back the rest of the rum and put it back down. Him going to bring his hand up and grab the bottle. Him going to turn and tell everyone they're heading out now, as they do to walk away. Now, Bellamy, he's quite shocked. I mean, he was supposed to be the biggest guy on this island. A bounty of 55 million. He was happy to, well, throw around that title and be the big guy here. But Deku, he's kind of scary. The guy looked calm and in control the whole time. And most of the guys here, they weren't even trying to raise their guns, raise their voices, or get loud. They were worried what he might do. And that definitely is a bit more of a concern. Now, Deku, he has to head back to the ship with rum. And right now, Deku, he does tell everyone about where they're going to be heading to next. And it kind of is a bit more annoying, since they already kind of passed Longring Island a few weeks back. Now, currently Deku and the crew do to head back out and set sail, and the pirates do to watch Deku and his crew leave on their ship. Now, Deku, he currently does go to sit there a few weeks later in bed, thinking about a few things, as he actually is a bit more concerned. Him and Bo have been in contact a little bit, and things haven't really changed. So far, they don't know where Whitebeard is, and they have that suspicious lead. Though, that one guy at the bar, he seemed familiar somehow. That's gonna annoy him. And currently they're actually to Osui, they also want to yell out for Deku. Deku's not gonna jump out of his hammock and turn, setting down the phone on the desk and gonna run up on top of the deck. Him gonna look around as Osui does a turn and point out. In the distance, since Deku, he is someone who needed to see this. Now, Deku is gonna walk over. I'm gonna take the eyeglass from Osui and bring it up to his eye and gonna look in the distance and seeing the insignia for the Whitebeard pirates and a massive boat. Now, Deku, here's to tell Osui that he can handle this and that she should just stay here. You don't want me to get closer? Approach a few more, meters. I'll tell you when. You sure? Yeah, trust me. Now, Deku currently does look up. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so time to calculate this a bit better. Okay, so let's see. They're going to bring his hands up and shine a beam of light. It's going to angle itself up in the air as Deku, he does going to do one thing. He does actually turn into light and shoot forwards up into the air. Also going to watch Deku arc through the sky. Now, Deku is going to flying up high. Him going to actually turn back into a human as he's being carried by momentum. And Deku, he has to look down, waiting for him to get closer and closer to the ship. Him throwing his hands down again, and actually watch his path going to actually shoot out flying down. And Deku, the one he's going to see a path onto the Whitebeard ship, he does actually shoot back down. Him going to actually turn back into human, as currently Whitebeard, he does just sit there. Him talking with a few people, as Deku's going to land onto the ship. Him going to somewhat stand there and get back onto his feet. Everyone turning to look at him, as currently there actually is where Whitebeard's crew, they all get a bit more on the defensive. And currently, someone, they do a step forwards, bring up their Phoenix Wing. As another man does a step forwards, bring up his Flaming Fist. Now, currently Deku's just stand there. Him going to bring his hands up and tell all of them. He's not here to fight. He's actually here to talk to Whitebeard. And if they'd be so kind as to put down their weapons, he'd like to tell them. His crew's already approaching. They don't mean to fight. He just wishes to chat with the man himself. Now, Whitebeard is going to sit there and stare down at Deku, who does want to bring out his hand. Him going to bring his head down and bow to Whitebeard, expressing, "It's nice to meet the legend himself in person. He's definitely been a bit hard to track down." "You been looking for me, boy?" "I have, sir." I'm going to look up, expressing, he wanted his crew to see what a legend looks like in the flesh, see what a proper crew looks like. They've had troubles working together, and this crew here, it definitely is a solid unit. I'm going to step forwards. As right now, Ace and Marco do still stand there on the defensive, and Whitebeard does bring his hand up, telling his sons to put their weapons down. The boy, he could have caused trouble the moment he stepped foot on the vessel, or he could have blown them all to Kingdom Come. He's the one who has the Pika Pika no Mi. And right now, Ace and Marco do a stare back at Deku. Them a lot more surprised. They were wondering how he got here. I mean, it was kind of fast, right? He fell from the sky. They just thought, they don't really know what they thought, actually. This being where Deku, he does his step forwards again, him staring at both Marco and Ace. He knows what those two are. They're devil fruit users. One has a mythical Zoan and one has a Logia. And Whitebeard. Whitebeard in front of him has a very, very powerful devil fruit ability. He has the Tremor fruit. And that has been quite a lot of things. Now, Whitebeard is just sit there. And Deku, he is at least going to ask Whitebeard if his crew has permission to approach the vessel in a non-hostile manner. And the man just won't stare down at Deku. Deku staring up at the man without blinking. And currently Whitebeard, he does is actually stand up in front of Deku. Deku's just going to look directly up more and more, as the man is going to look down at Deku, who doesn't seem even at all fazed. And right now, Whitebeard does a turn and express to his men to signal the vessel to approach. And Deku, he actually doesn't tell them. He can do that himself, actually. He'll save them the time. I'm going to walk over and currently bring up his hand, him firing his finger out into the air. Now, currently, Whitebeard, he has a look at Deku, as the vessel does to approach from the distance. But somebody else, they were watching what happened. And their boat, it definitely does have a lot going on right now. Right now, their small little fleet does need a few things to happen. And All Might, he saw that massive beam of light get shot up into the sky. And that means a number of things. Now, Deku actually has to turn back. Whitebeard going to express. Well, isn't that a bit of a show? Though, they don't really have time for this right now. So if they could he make this chat quick? Him and his sons need to do a few things. I can. Though, why are you at this island? Here for a few reasons, boy. Heard there's a devil fruit I've been looking for a while. It can help me. Really? Yes, it can. So, if we can we make this quick? Because I already have to deal with them over there. I'm going to point out, Deku does get a turn. I'm going to see some marine vessels in the distance. As you know, we do actually cut to that vessel, where All Might does get to stand there. Him expressing a few things that he does get to see. He's actually a bit more annoyed, and that is quite a bit. And currently somebody does a stand there, watching that vessel. If that boy is on there, the one with that stupid fucking fruit, that means his son isn't too far behind. And that annoys him a lot. As currently we do actually have Hawks, who does so going to lean on the railing, expressing to Endeavor. I'm still going to sit there with his blackened wings. That maybe things will be okay though. I mean, his son probably turned tail and ran, right? Got away from the sea. Maybe he's somewhere else. Though, what was it? Didn't Mirka search Amazon Lily? She found nothing there. Yes, she did, Hawks. And now she's been demoted to Rear Admiral. So, what do you suggest we do? We can't approach them. What? Endeavor, we can't approach them. If we do, we'll cause problems. Besides, if they see our vessel full on approach, things will go badly. Very badly. You say that, but we can handle this, can't we? We could. Though, let me take care of it. Am I going to bring his foot up and leap down into the ocean? And right now everyone is going to watch on. As Endeavor, he is one a bit more annoyed. As right now All Might, he has to swim over to their vessel. Now, currently All Might is to leap up into the air. I'm going to actually smash onto the boat as he does to stand up and look around. Everyone staring at the Admiral as All Might does to bring up his hands and express. Sorry for the interruption. And right now Whitebeard, he does look up, staring at the man, expressing to his boys to put down the weapons, since the man is using manners. Besides, if he wanted a conflict, they would have had a conflict. Though why exactly is Admiral All Might here? I wish to investigate I'm going to turn and look directly down at Deku. The boy with long hair and tied back, as he does currently at least see two other people, the ones who escaped Impel Down. And they're actually some of the ones he saw on the island, though he does see new faces here as well. And that does mean quite a lot of things. He's certainly intrigued by what it means, though it's also quite curious. Now, All Might is going to ask if his men can approach, since they do not wish for hostilities right now. And why is that? We have reason to believe that you're coming here in search of something, and we wish to know what it is. All Might, I don't really answer to you. You don't, but I assumed you'd answer the question honestly. I would, but why exactly is All Might intrigued by what I have to say? Because we might be searching for the same thing. Alright. Well, how about we discuss this a bit more politely? Keep your boys at a distance, All Might, and we won't have problems. Now, well, all that's being said and done, we do currently have up in the air a portal to start to open up. And everyone, they're a bit more focused on the fact that All Might's here, the guy who's getting pulled down's here, and Whitebeard, they're all walking a thin tightrope. If they fall, yeah, this boat's gonna come down, and that means quite a bit of things. One guy can blow it up with just pure power. One guy can rip this place apart with just his bare hands. And the other guy, yeah. He's got some power behind him. And he doesn't even have a devil fruit. Now, they're all kind of focused on that, as currently a man has to throw out his hand and blast at a beam, and everyone, they're all immediately hit. Everyone gonna freeze, as Deku's quite alarmed. A portal gonna open up underneath him, as Deku, he gets to feel change wrap around his legs. Him actually gonna feel one wrap around his throat, as everyone, they're being pulled down more and more. And currently Deku is quite alarmed. Right now, him being pulled through, as he actually does gonna fall. Him smashing onto the ground and not feeling any of the pain. However, after a few seconds, he does feel the massive amount of force and pain from the chains wrapping tightly around his body. Him more alarmed and would actually try and turn into a light. Him flying upwards to the chains and actually going to turn back. Him gonna flip and land down into the ground. And Deku does look around. Okay, so where is he? And what the fuck is that creature that's walking by him? Deku's staring out and seeing an animal that's long. Where? Wait, that was the front half, right? And so, where the fuck is the back end of that animal? It's like a goddamn train. Okay, no, that's distracting him. Okay, so quite impressive, quite impressive. They're going to turn, and right now all for one is a step forwards, expressing he is quite happy that the boy finally found Whitebeard. Though two people in the same place at the same time. Two that he really desperately wants to take the abilities of. Quite fascinating. Now, Deku's a bit more alarmed, as often as I say the words. The boy really is stepping into things he does not understand, and biting off more than he can chew. Now, Deku does stare at him, bring up his hands and actually throw out his hands together. Him creating beams of light and throwing his hands out, blast them towards All For One. And All For One is to bring up his own hand. Him being covered in darkness, as ready to throw up his hand and create a ball or a black hole. Now, Deku's going to watch the light get seeped and bend directly into the hole, and pulled into it. And Deku's to stare on. All For One going to actually throw his other hand up and going to actually release something. As currently a bunch of things are starting to fly out of the black hole and smash down. Deku does get to see rock. He sees mortar. He sees broken metal and cars, and then he does get to see people. But he doesn't understand. He sees a guy who's misshapen and... No. Them all starting to scream out in pain, before their pain is starting to turn into laughter. And Deku's going to watch on. He hears them scream and howl in psychotic madness. And then Deku, he doesn't hear All For One going to say the words. He does want the boy to see what he's done. his actions have consequences, and definitely messing with something he shouldn't have. They do need to learn exactly what the world is. The weak fear the strong. And Deku to turn his head. Him seeing a woman laying on the ground, clutching at her chest. Her laughing out maniacally, throwing her head back and crying. But she can't stop laughing. No matter how much she wants to, she just can't. And Deku just stare on. It's A. It's... These are... the people he... Deku looking up, bringing his hand backwards and blasting out light. And right off one, he has to just bring up his hand, creating a black hole again. Him absorbing the beam and telling Deku about a few things he really should know. And Deku, he's just stare on. Currently, someone gonna fly by as Deku does look up. Him gonna actually turn as Muscular does bring his hand up. Deku gonna actually dodge out of the way of the attack as Muscular he actually does try and turn and blast the beam out towards Deku. And Deku, he does watch Muscular land and roll. Him currently gonna talk about how he's late to the party. What are you talking about? Oh man, gotta say, power is a little annoying, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. Though it's also fun. You know. Can't wait to kill this kid. Now, Deku does get stare on. And Deku's just gonna bring up his hand, blasting out light at Muscular. Muscular gonna bring up his hand and blast out the beam and stopping the light in midair. And now Muscular does get to watch on. The attack is slowed down. It's at a crawl. It's still moving, but Muscular, he does just go to stand out of the way. Him watching the attack still move. And he's definitely a lot more impressed. Not entirely stopped. What does that mean? I'm going to stare back at Deku. And Deku, he does still stare on. As currently a man is go flying through the air and he's going to bring his hands up. I'm going to smash down his hands as right now Deku is going to feel the entire ground shake. I'm going to leap backwards up into the air. And Deku, he has a look around. I'm going to see A on the ground, screaming at and laughing, as currently she is thrown backwards from the force. And Deku's going to move. Currently, him going to actually move through the air and fly. Now, Deku's going to turn back into tangible and turn and grab A. Him going to actually catch her, and he's going to take a few steps and leap up into the air. Him going to actually grab her and turn. And looking back at all for one. As currently Whitebeard, he has to stand there and bring his hands up. Him shouting out angrily about what these people have done. They came and attacked his sons, his family, and that means quite a lot. He will not tolerate this disrespect, and that says quite a lot. They pissed him off, and he will not have it. Now, currently we do cut back to the vessel, where Todoroki and everyone, they were a lot more shocked. Right now Todoroki is one of the only people from Deku's crew left aboard, and the Marines, they are starting to move in, because whatever just happened, they lost contact with All Might, and that is a massive problem. Now, currently Todoroki is looking through, from the distance, through a scope, and he doesn't see his father. The man looking through a scope and seeing Todoroki, and Todoroki does do one simple thing. He brings up his hand and flips him off. Now, Endeavor's a lot more annoyed, and when I yearn to tell the helmsmaster or the helmsman to go full throttle towards that boat. Whatever just happened, they have All Might, and that is not good. Now, with that being said, I do believe that is a good point to leave this part off of, and I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.